Have you ever asked the universe for something? More abundance, your dream house, your dream car, a new job, a specific person, whatever it is. Have you ever asked the universe for something and then you're starting to notice that everything around you seems to be falling apart? You lost your job, your relationship ended, that opportunity you wanted slipped right through your fingers. You're probably sitting there going, what in the world did I do wrong? I am here to tell you from a manifestation point of view, you have done nothing wrong at all. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth Rory. I'm a spiritual coach and a manifestation mentor. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the most misunderstood parts of manifestation. What happens after you ask? When you set an intention, you're actually making a declaration. You're saying, I am ready for something different. You're also saying, I am no longer settling for this life I'm currently in. From many spiritual and manifestation traditions, the belief is that once you set a declaration, things around you begin to change. The process is already beginning. As your mindset, your choices, and your actions start to align with what it is that you want, your life may begin to shift in ways that you probably never expected. Sometimes these shifts can be comfortable and exciting, and sometimes these shifts could be very scary and very uncomfortable. Why the uncomfort? Well, you cannot expect to build a new life while keeping every old pattern that created the life you're currently trying to change. Growth requires movement. Transformation requires change. Once you declare whatever it is that you're asking the universe for, expect change. So let's look at it like this. You're renovating your home, and before your new beautiful kitchen can be installed, those old cabinets have got to come out. The walls may even get torn down, the floors will be covered or ripped out, and for a while, everything looks worse before it actually gets better. So if you were to walk into that renovation, you would probably think everything is being destroyed. But someone with the blueprint knows that something very beautiful is being built. I believe our lives work exactly the same way. Let's say you've been asking for a healthy relationship. You might assume that a wonderful human being is just going to walk through your front door tomorrow. Wouldn't that be nice? But what if I told you that the first thing that has to happen is an unhealthy relationship must end? When this happens, please know the universe is not punishing you. The universe is never punishing you. The universe is consistently working in your favor. What this could mean is that you're no longer willing to stay where you once settled. Sometimes your growth changes what you're willing to accept. I think that is absolutely so beautiful. So now let's say that you've asked the universe for more money, more abundance, more financial freedom. And suddenly, your current job feels unbearable. A contract slips through your fingers, a door closes, you lost a contract, you lost a client, and suddenly it feels incredibly terrifying. But sometimes discomfort is exactly what motivates us to finally pursue an opportunity we've consistently been avoiding. Again, this does not mean every setback is part of the grand plan, but it can become part of your growth if you choose to learn from it. Every situation is an opportunity to learn and grow. The biggest mistakes people make is assuming that discomfort means you are on the wrong path. That is not necessarily true. Sometimes discomfort means you're stretching outside of your comfort zone. When we exit outside of our everyday comfortable zone, we start to feel very uncomfortable and question our every move. So think about going to the gym. Your muscles tend to get sore after a workout because they're growing, right? And we don't look at the soreness as a failure. We actually really look forward to the soreness because it's showing us that we're doing something at the gym, right? It's evidence that something is changing. The same can happen emotionally and physically. This is why trusting the process is so important. Trusting does not mean pretend that everything feels good. Everything in life is great. Trust means choosing not to panic or react every time something in your life changes. Trust means remember why you started. Remember why you asked the universe for whatever it is that you just asked for. Trust means believing that today's confusion doesn't automatically determine tomorrow's outcome. That's a good one, right? Trust means believing that today's confusion does not automatically determine tomorrow's outcome. I just love that saying. I just love it. It's so important to remember and just remember it all the time. Another important lesson is to learn to let go of control. In one of my previous videos, I explained why it is so important to practice detachment. We become so attached to what and how we think everything should unfold in our lives. I want this job. I want this person. I want it by this date. But what if there's something even better for you that you just simply cannot see yet? Sometimes we become so focused on the one door that we don't even notice the other 5 that have opened beside it. The best thing we need to do is practice detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. I made a video about detachment and how and why it's so important to practice detachment. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop trying to force every single detail. And when you stop trying to force every single detail, you allow space for life to surprise. Here's something I tell my clients all the time, and it has been incredibly helpful in the manifestation process. You do not manifest from desperation. You manifest from alignment. Alignment is choosing peace over panic, faith over fear, curiosity over control. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is the universe trying to teach me? What is this making room for? What lesson can I learn here? Who am I becoming through this experience? All of these questions shift you from feeling powerless to becoming an active participant in your own growth. So last year, this exact thing happened to me. And I too needed a reminder as to what is going on around me. I moved to Austin, Texas about 2 years ago, not knowing anybody or anything about Austin. And I was determined to make my life here settled and complete and comfortable. So I took a job that paid well, but drained my soul. For 9 months, I was working in this job. I got to work from home, which I was so grateful for, but I was so unhappy. So I started to ask for something different. And within 1 week, I was fired from my job. By the way, this was the first time I was ever fired from a job. So this time last year, I was fired, no job. None of that monthly income coming in. Now I have bills, I have a house to take care of, I have dogs, I have a car. What we all have, right? Bills. So out of desperation, I was trying to get a new job. I was going on all these job interviews, making it as the final candidate, and then something would happen. The job would slip through my fingers, or they had to stop their hiring process. And this happened 5 different jobs. And so finally I was like, let's turn internally and just like figure this out. Stop all the process, stop the thinking, and just stop and slow down and really think about like what it is I really wanted. So I did that. I gave myself time and grace to figure out what am I doing here? Where's my soul pulling me? Where am I aligned? And the next day I wake up and I'm like, I've got to get back to coaching. Now, I coached all 3 years while I was traveling in the country, and it was such a beautiful blessing. But when I moved to Austin, I felt a bit desperate, like I needed to make more money to keep my life here comfortable. And it led me to misery. So as soon as I declared that I'm going to get right back into my coaching, life became so much easier. Everything has just been able to flow in the right direction. And I'm just so excited for how it's all going to unfold. because I trust the process. Nothing scares me. If something doesn't go right, I know that it's working for me. I've allowed to trust the process, and it's been so incredibly rewarding. Now, something I want to remind you, and it's something very important, is not every difficult situation has a spiritual meaning behind it. And it is okay to grieve a loss, to ask for help, and to acknowledge when something is hard. Trusting the process does not mean ignoring your emotions. It means allowing yourself to feel them without assuming your story is over. You know, sometimes the big breakthrough actually arrives because you kept going in the most uncertain times. You kept going even when things felt uncertain. So if your life feels a bit messy right now, your relationships are changing, your opportunities are shifting, and you're starting to question everything, maybe this isn't the end of your story. Maybe you are standing in the middle of your own renovations. Maybe you're becoming the version of yourself who is actually ready and willing to receive everything they've been asking for. The person who receives abundance always thinks differently than the person who fears scarcity. The person who experiences healthy love has already established healthy boundaries. I just did a video on the importance of setting healthy boundaries. Check it out. And the person who steps into their purpose often had to let go with what no longer aligns with who they are becoming. So today I want to leave you with this. Please stop judging your current life. Please stop judging your current life that you're in the middle of right now. You're not reading the ending yet. Please keep showing up. Please keep doing the work. Please trust in yourself. Please trust in the universe. When it gets hard, keep going. I promise you, the universe will always deliver. The universe always has your back and is always, always, always on your side. Please trust the process. Because when things start to change, it may feel like everything is falling apart. But I'm promising you one thing. It is not falling apart. It's actually all coming together. It is not a breakdown, my friends. This is a breakthrough. I am so excited for your manifestations. If you feel called, please leave a note. What are you manifesting? What are you trying to manifest into your life right now? I would love to know. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you all endlessly. All the love.